Hello everyone. So now we are going to start our new series, that is past perfect. So in our previous series we have discussed about the past continuous. So from the same we are going to continue, that is the next is past perfect. So before getting into the definition, let's try to understand what actually past perfect is and why we need to learn. So, in order to know about the past perfects and its importance, first we need to understand these two examples. That is, I attended the class and I had attended the class. What is the difference between these two? If I say I attended the class, it means the event got completed in the past. And even if I say I had attended the class, so again the meaning it goes with the same, that is, event completed in the past. Then the question arises is why I need to learn past perfect. If I can accomplish or if I can say the same thing using simple past. The answer is so simple. Past perfect is used to tell about two events that happened in the past. Whereas, let me show you with an example, that is, the patient had died before the doctor came. So, in this particular example, if you could see, both the events happened in the past, but one event happened before the other. Like the patient had died. So, patient had died. This event happened before the other event. So, the very important thing is that in this definition, that is, when two actions took place in the past, the first completed action is called previous action. That is, the patient had died is the previous action. And what I need to use with that, I have to use past perfect tense. So what is past perfect tense? It's nothing but subject plus had plus v3 plus object. What is my subject? The patient plus had plus v3, and rest everything is going to be my object. Now let's continue the definition. Whereas the second completed action which happened next is called subsequent action and simple past tense is used. So here, what is the second completed action? That is, the doctor came. Hope you are getting the point, everyone. So the patient had died before the doctor came. What is the meaning here? That is, डॉक्टर के आने से पहले పేషెంట్ మర్ చుకా థా. డాక్టర్ రాకముందు పేషెంట్ చనిపోయాడు. Okay, now as you can see, there is one more example, and as I told you in the past continuous that when can also be used in past perfect, but I would recommend you not to use when and before after. Why? As I'll show you. See, the second sentence, the doctor came after the patient had died, as I have put the cross mark. Why? The reason is so simple. If What is the meaning? First let's try to understand. The doctor came after the patient had died. It means पेशेंट के मरने के बाद डॉक्टर आया. So meaning of before and after, as we are using, meaning is same, but the only difference it lies in the person who is speaking. Let's take example. During COVID you might have seen that if any patient they died, you like they died, so their parents, I mean guardians, they used to be very frustrated and used to beat the doctors as well. Now let's take example of like movie and the reality. So in the movies, in the serials, you might have seen that if a patient or if a patient dies, so his guardians, who used to inform to his guardians or parents, it's the doctor. Whereas in reality it's not the doctor, particularly in the government hospitals. Is a compounder or the nurse. And this example, as I'm not taking in order to embarrass someone, just only for the understanding purpose. Here, very important thing is that, let's say the compounder or the nurse, they are not that well educated, I mean in terms of grammar, let's say. So let's say the compounder informs to the guardians or the parents, that is, sorry, and then after he says the doctor came after the patient had died. Now the parents may or may not be able to understand the whole thing, but they could understand one thing, that is after the keyword. And what they may understand is doctor came after, it means the doctor came late, thus their bp goes high and they think that it's the doctor's fault. Whereas the compounder has used the keyword after. I mean, he is using the same tense, that is past perfect, but only due to this after, people they may misunderstand. Instead of saying this, if the compounder would have told that the patient had died before the doctor came, so they may understand, okay, patient died before, then doctor came, okay, no worries. So in order to safeguard, I mean, if the compounder says that the patient had died before, then people they may like their BP may not go high. I mean, they may not get angry as well. So I would recommend you to use always before. If you want to be good or if you want to be blamed, then use after. Let me show you one more example. That is, my friend had completed the biryani before I reached my hostel. So here you are blaming your friend, though the meaning of both is same. That is, I reached my hostel after my friend had completed biryani, but the essence is missing. Okay, so my friend had completed the biryani before I reached. It means you are blaming your friend that yes, he completed biryani before I reached. Whereas in the second one, as you are saying, I reached my hostel after, it means you are blaming yourself that yes, I reached late. In the same way, the next example, as you can see, the train had left the station before I reached. It means you are blaming the train. Whereas in the next sentence, you can see, I reached after the train had left the station. Means it's your fault. So finally, I would like to conclude a past perfect by saying that what's the syntax that we have to use? That is subject plus had plus v3 plus object, and whether it is I, we, you, he, she, name, they, anything, you have to use only one verb, that is had. Hope you got the point. Now let's get started with our next thing, that is past perfect. So as one thing, as a reminder, so past perfect you have to use before. If you want to blame others, if you want to blame yourself, use after. Next, past perfect continuous. As you can see the definition, it is used for an action that began before a certain time in the past and continued for a long time, and the action completed in the past. Okay, no need to worry if you did not get. The meaning is so simple. It means an action started in the past, even continued in the past, but when it completed we don't know. It means there is no proof. So for proofless things, you should not use in real life. It's like the first example, as you can see, that is, I had been, okay, I had been traveling to USA since 2010. Let's say if you say that now we are going to USA, so somebody may say, oh, you are going now, we have been traveling to USA since 2010, but there is no proof. If you ask, okay, what is the proof, they may say, oh, we have just traveled and just we had been traveling, but we never say, or like they are not ready to say. It means no proof. So usually past perfect continuous is used in order even by the relatives, even for the fake admirations, and particularly even it is used in horror movies. For example, you may remember certain horror movies, let's say Conjuring. So every horror movie, it starts with the past perfect continuous tense. For example, um, a ghost had been living in this house for 100 years, 200 years. Even you may remember the Indian horror movie, let's say Chandramukhi. So as you can say, like Chandramukhi had been staying in the palace for 200 years. She had been performing dance in the night. People like people saw her, and like, but there is no proof that what is a like there is no proof that whether it exists or not. So mainly horror movies are based on proofless things, obviously. Okay, and mainly we get scared only due to the sound. Hope you're getting the point. So past perfect continuous we don't use in our day-to-day life. Yeah, in case if you want to become a horror movie script writer, then definitely you need to go for it. So what are the scenarios that we use? That is for horror movies, fake admirations, or even the relatives they use. Now there is one important thing that you need to make a note. That is, out of 12, only these 8 tenses that we use in our day-to-day life, like simple present, that is used in order to tell about everyday. Present continuous is used to tell about vlogging, cooking. In case if you have missed it, so you can just ping for the link in the comment section. So present continuous is used for vlogging, cooking, even live streaming of the news. Then after present perfect, we have used for the recent completed completion of your interview, movie reviews, even the food that you have prepared. If you have traveled recently, present perfect continuous that we use in order to tell about experience. Simple past is used in order to tell about sorry, not horror, historical movies, stories about your school or college life, about your inspiration, biography, any event that you saw. So mainly the jam topics as well. Then past continuous, over there we have used the concept of when and while. In past perfect we have seen that if you want to blame yourself, use after. If you want to blame others, then use before. Mainly this concept is used in IT sector. Then next one we'll see about the simple future. So that we'll see in our next class. So before that, you just have to answer this, that is, what is the difference between I shall help you and I will help you. Just give a try and comment your answer in the comment section. If you don't get, no worries, I'll explain you in the next class. So till then, happy learning.